Audio. There's my microphone. Okay. Should be good now. New webcam. Man, I tell you, learning curve on everything as you get older is ridiculously slow. Anyway, maybe somebody will pop up here shortly. But I just wanted to say good morning. It's been a minute since I've done the live, and I figured I better do it before I forget how. And apparently I already did. So anyway, couple things. Hey, what's going on, folks? Hey, good morning, Fly Right and Snap Face. Do I have good audio? Can somebody let me know? I just got this other webcam and got everything figured out and dialed in, and I just want to make sure I've got audio. It looks like I do on my end, but I'm never really that sure. Hope everything's good over there in Australia. And Fly Right, you were in North Carolina, or I can't remember. One of the Carolinas, weren't you? Right on. Thanks, Snapface. Thanks for the audio check. I appreciate it. And seeing you on here, Fly Right, reminds me, man, I meant... Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. I meant to get out and do some drone stuff this weekend, but gosh, I've been so trying to get my... Yeah, North Carolina. I've been trying to get my, we ordered a bunch of windows, and I just trying to get all my windows put in. And it's a bit of a beast. And I've got some adult stuff I've been doing for the last 2 weekends. I've only got 3 more windows out of 12 to put in, so I think I'm making progress. I'd sure rather be doing drones or some photography, but as it turns out, I have to do adult stuff, my wife says. So that's what we're doing. But at any rate, hope everybody's doing good. I wanted to try out. So what I did is I've got another webcam, one that has autofocus, and actually it just really looks, the colors and everything look way better. I like it. Yeah, adult stuff. And I want to be able to take my other webcam and put it over my workstation where I build, the little sets. And that way I can live stream the builds also, when I want to, and people can chime in and... Oh, you picked it up? You picked up the Air 2S and flown it once? Right on. I got to get some drone stuff going, man. I've got drone jobs that I've been doing, but I haven't done any personal drone stuff, in a minute. And I got signed up with one of the universities down here on their vendor list. And so we've got some events coming up for the Cal State, East Bay, anyway. And so I don't have any personal drone stuff going on at the minute, but I do have, regular drone jobs. But, so look forward to some of that. You have too many drones? You're hoarding them. There you go. I've only got 2, man. My money gets spread out amongst 50 different hobbies instead of one concentrated hobby. So I like to waste my money in a broad spectrum instead of just, very local. But I did get the other webcam, and I want to get it set up over my workstation back here. And I have had 7, sad to say, and hardly fly them. Yeah. So I want to get my other webcam set up on my workstation back here, because what it's going to allow me to do is some live builds. And I know Snapface, you had mentioned that, it'd be kind of cool to build along with sort of in a group or whatever. And, I think putting a webcam over my workstation would be cool. So that's what I got set up. And then also I've been working on this mausoleum, and I'll show it now that I've got a camera that'll autofocus. I've been working on this mausoleum, and we're really looking good on it. I have the video for this. I have to edit some of the video and do the voiceover and things like that, and get it ready to post the first part of it. But I just wanted to share with you the progress on this. This is just looking really good too, man. I'm really pleased with the foliage and the brick and the stucco and stuff like that. It's looking pretty good. So I wanted to share that. And just touch base with y'all. Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's kind of a it's taking a minute between building windows and building styrofoam bricks. Oh, I know, right? Huh? I come on so randomly, and you know, I have so many different things going on at once, and I really like doing the live, thing, and I just got to remember to get on here more often and do it, and it's a fun thing to do, but and I'm going to be able to do it, like I say, more because I have the webcam in the back also. So, I'll be able to do it a few different ways. I wish I could do it from the drones, the Phantom 4 Pro V2. I used to be able to live from that. And, for some reason, YouTube, I don't know, DJI and Google, I don't know what it is, if it's something with them, but I've been on the phone with DJI and it will never allow me to, I always get a message that pops up that says Google has blocked, for security reasons, the live feature. And so I've been on the phone with DJI about that. And then it always says that my channel needs to be live enabled. And then I get that Google message that says that it's been blocked. And I just can never live from my Phantom 4 anymore, and from the and neither from the Mavic Pro, Mavic Pro 2. I can't live from that either. It's just I don't know what it is, so I just gave up on it. I can Facebook Live, no problem, but YouTube from the drones, for some reason, it's just I cannot do it. Oh, so it's not just me then. So you have the problem too, huh? Fly right, you can't do it either? I'll have to check it out. Facebook, I do it live from Facebook and it's no problem, but I don't know. I would prefer to do it from YouTube, but because I go to some pretty cool places with the drones, man, and it's really cool to see drone live footage. It's pretty fun. And I just haven't been out to, no, I haven't watched Ed Rucker. I know I have the HDMI. Sometimes when I do live, I'll do a live event for one of the universities or something, like boat racing or whatever. I can live video out to a live news feed from the Mavic, or from the Phantom 4 Pro, because it has HDMI out. And you could also from the Mavic Air 2, it has HDMI out on the smart controller, HDMI out to, I think it's SDI or something like that. And you can do a live news feed with it. It's pretty cool. But, oh, Ricker, okay. I'll have to check it out. It's just, it's a pain in the butt, man, trying to do that anymore. I just gave up on it, and so I've just kind of determined that I've been relegated to voiceovers of all my drone videos. So that's what I've been doing. Oh, cool. Oh, okay. Mirror the video. Yeah. Yeah, man, snap phase. It's drones. When I was a kid, man, Godzilla with sparks coming out of his mouth was like epic. And now we've got flying 4K cameras with a range of 9 kilometers, man. It's stinking ridiculous, man. I've got a couple really nice drones that, I buy my stuff for, whether I'm buying photography gear or drones, I buy it all for the camera. I don't care how the drone looks or what it does. I need the camera to be awesome. And the best camera I've ever seen on a drone, man, is the Phantom 4 Pro V2. That camera is ridiculous, man. 60 FPS at 4K. It is beautiful, buttery footage, man. And then I go into post and I shoot it all in RAW, and then I go into post and I do all the color grading and stuff. Oh, I just love it, man. That camera is phenomenal. I wish the Phantom 4 was a smaller drone, but yeah, I do. It is incredible, man. And you're right, Snapface. Some of it is just overly complicated. And if I figured it out, enough to do it one time, I'd probably only do it one time and I'd forget it the next time, And so I just avoid some of it. It's got a 1-inch sensor, 4K 60. Oh, that's really good. Yeah, that 4K 60. Once you have 4K 60, you never want to go back to nothing else. It is. I mean, there is a noticeable difference, man. When I put that Phantom 4 on and then I go to the Mavic Pro 2, I'm like, whatever. You could say Hasselblad on there all you want, but if it ain't 4K 60, it's just it's no good to me. Yeah, snap face. Yeah, if I don't repeat things, I forget them. I had a heck of a time getting back on live this morning. I'm like, okay, what do I do? And then I had to remember, okay, new camera, make sure my audio was working, stream keys. But yeah, you're right. It's if you don't do it regularly, you kind of lose you kind of lose the sharpness. Yeah, you haven't flown in Phantom 4 in a long time. Man, I have two controllers for mine, where my controllers are sitting back here. I've got the actual Mavic, I've got the actual Phantom 4 controller that has the built-in screen, which I don't like that controller very much. I only have it because I can do HDMI out. But I much prefer the other controller, but I will say that I do like, let me see, let me grab that controller real quick. Hang on one second. I've got down here, if I can get it out, let's see. Open my case up. So I've got this controller, and then I've got... So I've got this controller here, which I like to fly with my iPad. And I never was a fan of iPad either, Apple products, but when you fly with an Apple product, it is so much more seamless, there's more features, and I just really like flying. I don't like using Apple products like for phones and stuff because it's just another thing I got to learn. But when you fly with an Apple product, it is really, really nice. So I've got that controller, and then I also have the smart controller here with the screen built in. The main thing I don't like about this controller, I mean, I do like it, but there's no supports anymore for any of the updated Facebook. You can't download any third-party apps to this controller. It's basically just a screen to fly. Hey, right on. Thanks, man. I appreciate it, man. Thanks. Drones UK. Sweet. Appreciate you chiming in. Yeah, you're right. The brightness of the screen, Fly Right, is nice. And the only reason I bought this is so that I could do the HDMI to, I think it's SDI, video out for live, when I was doing the live boat races for the Pac-12 at Stanford. But that's the only reason I bought this. I was really disappointed when I there's a long story behind this one. Actually, I had bought it, and I hated it, and I'm like, you know what? It sucks. I need to. I sold it, and I bought this one, and as it always happens in my life, I always end up rebuying the thing that I sold. So I sold this one, bought that one, and kept that one and rebought this one. It's ridiculous. But at any rate, I do got to get out and do some drone stuff, for sure, and get back to it. There's a Crockett out here. There's a CNH sugar refinery. It's been out here for so many years before I was a kid, and there's just some really cool architecture there. And early in the morning, as the sun is rising behind it, you get all the vapor. I'm not sure what it is that's coming out of the stacks of the plant. It's really backlit really nicely, and you've got the Carquinez Bridge there, and you've got quite a bit of industrial, just cool old architecture and that old faded brick and stuff like that that really makes for nice drone flying. You know, stacks and buildings and boats and all the cool stuff, man. So I've been telling myself I need to get over there and do that. And maybe I'll try to get it done this next weekend since I don't have but 3 windows left to put in. What you say? Oh yeah, you sold it, missed it, bought it. Yeah, the 2 Pro with the iPad. Yeah, flying with iPad. Gosh, it is just a much better deal than flying with an Android. I really never tried to believe that or tried to do it until I wanted to do some work with drone deploy or drone deploy or drone. I think it's drone deploy, where you go in and you use this software to map and stuff like that. I don't want to get it confused with something. I think it's called Drone Base or something, where they find you jobs. It's not that. It's the software that you pay to subscribe to, this software that allows your drone to map and do FLIR and stuff like that. Anyway, but they only used a very limited amount of Android products, and there was no restriction on the Apple products. And so I went with an iPad, and ever since then, man, I never fly my drone without an iPad. It's crazy, the difference in features and just the smooth way that everything looks and works. I really like it, so it's really nice. Yeah, right on, man. Sounds good, Rod. It's nice to see people from all over, man. UK and Australia, and it's unusual that Apple is the better option. Snap face. Hey, you know, I mean, you're right. You're right. I have Android for my phones, and but it is a world of difference in drones. And I didn't believe it. I'm like, oh, these people in their Apple, whatever. I've got my Android, and if it works, don't, if it's not broke, don't try to fix it, but I do. I really like the way that the Apple, and the reason is because, and I had called DJI about it, and their reasoning was that, Android, there's so many Android products, to make every single one of them, or even a lot of them, work for a specific app or platform or whatever, however the developers call it, was much more difficult to do than something like Apple, who really only has one kind of operating way they operate or something, and it was easier for Apple products to work across the DJI stuff than, I don't know. That's kind of the way they explained it. I'm not a technical guy, but right on. Yeah, and so, if it works, I'll use it. If I think I can find value in it and it works, then I'll use it. I don't. I'm not a follower of, hey, that's everybody. I've got my iPhone and my iPads and my coffee makers and whatever. But I do like it for flying the drones. That being said, everything else I have is Android. So I'm not interested in Alexa yet. I don't need Alexa to turn my lights on. I don't need, I don't need all that stuff. But anyway, yeah, I got to get some toy stuff done. I've got, if you can see back here in the back, I did get my 3D printers set up, and wow, what another learning curve that is. I did manage to print, though they're not my files. I didn't make the files for this. I just went on Thingiverse and bought I just downloaded the app or the file. I did create some gas cylinders here that, let me see if this autofocus camera really can do a good job on here. There we go. Is it focusing? Yeah, well, yeah, there we go. So I did print some gas cylinders with this Anycubic Photon Mono X printers that I got and the wash station, and I do like it, but I tell you, there is a learning curve in that. Yeah, snap phase, I tell you, I'm mixed about it right now, and it's only because I'm still learning it. It is kind of a pain in the butt at first because there's a lot that could go wrong, and you know it's. I had to get my settings right with the slicers and the different you know the different programs. Thanks, man. I appreciate it, Fly Right. Yeah. I try to get it dialed in and everything with the slicers and understand the different software. And it is a bit of a learning curve. Even, you know, it just, there's a lot seems to be to it. And it can be kind of confusing why a print doesn't come out or why a print fails. And, you know, my very first print failed. Excuse me. It printed right onto the FEP, and I'm like, oh crap, you know. So I had to fix that and clean that, and then, you know, and then you've got to, once you do get a successful print though, and the successful prints come, I'm sure, as you understand more how to use the equipment. But you know, then you've got to wash it and, you know, and cure it, and then I've got some little sanding blocks that I clean up the edges and the little things off of it. I mean, it is fun, it is cool, and I will definitely be able to use it a lot more as I get more confident and understand the software. And actually, it's not just about clicking on a file and pushing print. It's so much more than that. And it takes a long time. This little gas cylinder is like 4 hours. You know, it's, like I say, 4 hours to print this. And so it does set it and forget it like a brisket. Put that thing in the oven and go do something. Because it's going to take a minute. But it is cool. I mean, I do like it. I'm glad I bought it. I'm sure I'll be gladder that I bought it later. You know, as I get more comfortable with learning it. And yeah, now you're not so tempted. Yeah, if you're looking for something that you just drag a file over and fill up the resin vat and push print, I don't know. Unless I'm missing something, it's not so much that. I mean, I guess it's supposed to be. I don't know. I don't want to give you a bad review because, you know, I'm not really that up on it. But I know that I've got to get the file, whether I created it or whether I downloaded it. I've got to transfer it to the thumb drive, take it over to the printer, plug my thumb drive in, make sure my printer is full of resin. You spend too much on drones, yeah. You said that. Well, thank God for credit, right? Then I got to fill up my resin vat. Then, you know, I've got to push print, and it takes a few hours before you can even know whether or not that the print is stuck to the build plate and not the FEP. But, you know, I mean, looking at all these videos on YouTube, and man, I love YouTube because you can learn anything. Looking at all these videos on YouTube, the margin for, you know, successful prints and print failures, there's only a few reasons prints fail. And, you know, when you understand why they fail, then you can fix it for the next time. But it takes a few hours to realize whether or not your print has even failed because you can't see it as that work plate goes up and down into the resin vat. It doesn't ever lift up high enough for you to see if your print is stuck to the build plate until probably, you know, 2 or 3 hours into your build. And at that time, you've committed 3 hours to a print that could possibly have failed, and now you've got to, you know, reprint it. And so that's kind of the downside of it. But if you've got all your, you know, if you kind of cross-checked everything, it shouldn't really fail. You know, I'm sure there's people out there who print all the time and fail very little anymore because they've been doing it for a while. But it's just new to me, so that's probably the bulk of my issue is that it's new. I've printed some things, I've printed 3 things already, and they're successful. I printed another 2 things that were not successful. So I guess I'm ahead, but I need to be more consistent and know why I failed, and so that I can, fix it. I don't want to be failing. Yes, credit. Who cares? It's 35% APR, man. Send me that thing. Speaking of credit, Home Depot. Like I said, I just did all these windows. Yeah, thank you, Home Depot for the credit card. Anyway, but yeah. So, yeah, they have dropped down cheap lately. And you're right, Snapface. Cheap isn't always good. Like my brother has a 3D printer, and he probably spent, I think he said he spent less than $300 for it, but he only prints stuff that is like really miniature for like these tabletop games that they play. I'm not sure what they all are, but they're really miniature things. So his build plate really isn't that big compared to like the build plate of mine back here, which, I don't know how big it is, but it goes pretty tall, and it's a pretty good size base. I can build some pretty decent sized stuff on there. And so you can get, I got this set because it was on sale. It was on sale, and you could buy it cheaper on Amazon. I think you could buy that printer on Amazon for like $500. But okay, Rod, thanks, man. Take care, bud. Appreciate you from the UK, man. I think you could buy that one for like $500 on Amazon. But this one came with the wash and cure station and a bottle of resin and a couple other little things. And, so I bought it directly from Anycubic. And I will say that to Anycubic, I know it's a company, a Chinese company, but man, just for fun, you guys should go to YouTube and view Anycubic tutorials put out by Anycubic. The voiceover AI Chinese to English accent, I can't watch them. I'm sorry. I'll tell myself, okay, I know it's going to be bad, but let's just sit through the tutorial and let's just try to get something from it. I get 30 seconds in and I'm just like, no, I'm not going to do it. Forget it. And I'll go try to find some other tutorial. I can't put myself through that. It just sounds horrible. It's, and no offense to them. I'm sure the tutorials are great, but I just can't bring myself to listen to the fact that firstly, it's AI, and then it's with a heavy, accent. And I just can't do it. My ears, something about it. Yeah, there you go. That's a good idea. My ears, there's a loss between my ear and my brain. I'm like, what was that? What did they even just say? I know it was in English, but I don't even know. So I just forget it. But you're right, yeah. Subtitles and mute it. You're right, yeah. Why didn't I think of that? Man, that's a good idea. But anyway, yeah. No, if you do a 3D print. Hey, did you get your Frankenstein? I know you said it was like 4 weeks out. I know you we're going to get that neck of Frankenstein. I do have the Mezco Frankenstein in my cart on eBay, but I just haven't pushed a click yet. I don't know that I want to spend $100 on a figure. I've got some figures that I haven't shot yet, and that I'm getting ready for this that mausoleum that I built. Any day? Okay, right on. Nice. Yeah, I do have, like I say, some figures I haven't shot that I need to. I don't really need to buy another one. So I haven't pushed. Buy now on there, but it's in the basket, and so at any rate, I'm gonna start maybe through the week getting ready on the first mausoleum video builds, and get some of those put up, or edited and ready to put up. Are you about some wire and stuff to make it stable? Oh, sweet, to electrocute him. Right on. That should be cool. Yeah, and so I should have some of those videos ready to put up in a series. The mausoleum, I'm not quite done with it. Maybe I am. I do want to build some lampposts and some headstones but those would be different tutorials. So I may put this mausoleum videos. I'll try to make it in 3 videos up here in the next week or so, and get a new video up here. And then some other videos I got coming up also probably will be like just, building some steps and things like that, out of foam, and some other cool ideas I have. I do want to build a Pac-Man or a Donkey Kong or some kind of arcade cabinet video game that Ghostbusters. Yeah. I need to get some Ghostbusters characters, man. Those guys are pretty cool. I think the Mezco ones are the ones that I would get. I'm sure NECA probably has some too. I don't know. I haven't looked into it, but I know Mezco does. They're a little bit pricey though. My setup is nowhere near Insightful's. Thanks. Hey, little by little, man. Little by little. And I mean, I watch a lot of videos, on different like Dungeons and Dragons building things, and some of these dollhouse building channels and things like that. And so I do watch quite a bit of those other things for ideas and inspiration and stuff. And everybody kind of just feeds off everybody. It's pretty cool way to be involved. It's a pretty cool little community of building. Some people, I don't know how they do it. They do it all day, every day. Man, I got a real job I got to go to. It's very rusted and weathered. Cool. So do you do, Flyright, do you do photography as well, or just the drone stuff? I don't, oh, the Ecto? Yeah, do you do photography also, or is it just drone work? As I sip my coffee. I told myself I wasn't going to get up that early this morning, but I did. I'm so sore from all that banging and chiseling and cutting and hanging doors, and oh man, I'm so sore. I said I want to sleep in this morning, but I can't. My brain just gets up at 3 o'clock every morning. It's ridiculous. I had to fight to go back to sleep this morning. Just drone and vlog stuff. Okay, so no photography, but you do collect some figures or some other like movie paraphernalia stuff. So right on, cool, man. Get into if you're looking for another way to spend a lot of money and get really not a whole lot in return. Toy photography and collecting is a great way to do that. It'll round out your it'll spread out your net of money wasting, so it's not just concentrated. You have more ways to look into your garage and say, man, I really do waste money. Let me just throw that out there for you. And you know what? I don't even know what got me doing toy photography. I think it was rainy one time, and I had all this, I have all this gear, and I couldn't go out and do. I tried model building years ago, and I'm a terrible painter. You know what? I suck at painting too, but if you're making rusted Armageddon apocalyptic type, damaged stuff, it works out great. So, yeah, snap phase, it is. Once you get, and I don't know, for me, it's like the carrot in front of the donkey. I'm like, well, once I just get set up, I won't really need to spend any more money. I'll just buy foam and build stuff. But that is the furthest thing from the truth. That is the biggest lie I could tell myself, because I still find more stuff to buy. And I got to cut it out. But no, I do have pretty much everything, that I need and more. But I think it's just the human. My brain says, "Oh, but wait a minute. What about this or what about that?" And I buy it. So, fortunately, some of my stuff supports other stuff, like the drone stuff helps support the other areas of photography that I do, and I may not make money from, but I just enjoy doing. I had a Knight Rider. Woo! Love Knight Rider. I grew up on Knight Rider. Every episode, baby. Oh, I saw Kit Car in Universal Studios when I was a kid. Love Knight Rider. You get the terrible paint right, and it was still terrible. Funny, I love Knight Rider, man. That was the show, man. That Dukes of Hazzard. I grew up on. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, the crane videos. There's so many of them right now. So many tower cranes up right now. There's. I was out in Stockton the other day for my regular job, and I did see out there's a crane company. I don't know how you pronounce it, but it's Liehber or something like that. I'm going to hit them up. I need to get out there and see when they're doing some sort of a. Oh, really? Right on. Cool, man. Sitting in kit. Sweet. It's funny how you can be from all over the world, but we all watch the same stuff. They have a crane company out there, and I want to set up. I don't know if you can see behind me this. Let me point to it here in the back. Once the camera catches up, I got to point to the other side. It's reversed. Dope. There is a black pole in the middle of my studio with a black box on it. There it is. That is a time-lapse camera. And what that does is it will time-lapse for a year, 2 years, whatever you want to do with it. It will time-lapse for a long time. And so I want to go out to one of these crane companies and get a crane rig up, set up, tear down, time-lapse. I think it would be really, really cool. And there is this company in Stockton that I saw that makes the cranes, I guess, or it's a distribution place for the cranes. And I want to hit them up and see if I can get a time-lapse camera set up over there, maybe some drone stuff too. Give them the footage in exchange for me doing it, but it would be pretty cool. But back to the 80s and Kit. Bugs Bunny on TV. Yeah. You know what? I grew up on Flipper, Dukes of Hazzard, Grizzly Adams, Knight Rider. Remember Blue Thunder and Airwolf? Blue Thunder and Airwolf. Those were the helicopter ones. They were cutting edge, man. Those were the shows. I loved those shows. The 80s, man, was a great time. It was a great time for metal. If you liked 80s rock, Quiet Riot, Twisted Sisters, not sisters with a plural, Twisted Sister, but Twisted Sister, I don't know what kind of music y'all listen to, but yeah, Chips. Yes, man. Blue Thunder. I love the 80s, man. And it's not that, I wouldn't like something else too if it was good, but I'm not really a TV fan anymore. I don't watch TV, and I think that has a lot to do with so much of it is just so, Airwolf. So much of it is so empty. But I'm not a TV fan nowadays, and I just don't find anything good on. But Airwolf, man, 80s stuff was great. 80s video games, Pitfall, Combat, Atari 2600, all the good stuff. Yeah, those helicopter shows were it, man. They're really good too. But I grew up on a lot of that stuff. Playing with G.I. Joes, and when it was all new back then, there was nothing to compare movie TV shows. Yeah, true. Yeah, there's nothing to compare it to. It was what it was. It was, yeah. That was back when MTV had videos. I remember first videos on MTV were like Dire Straits, Stevie Nicks, and Michael Jackson. I wouldn't dare turn on MTV now. Wow. But yeah, they had some, I remember Fly Right Mask. I know, what do I know Mask from? What is Mask? Excuse me. I know that, tell me what Mask is. I can't remember, but I know that name from somewhere. I know there's a movie Mask. I know there was. I'm sure once you say it, I'll know what it was. I could probably Google it, but I don't want to. Yeah, it doesn't play videos anymore. Yeah, it glorifies all kinds of other things that I'm not interested in. But music videos, man, it was a cartoon from the 80s. Okay, I'm going to have to look it up. Yeah, you know what? Snapface, my mom was too. She loved MASH. And Hogan's Heroes. I absolutely, as a kid, when she wanted to put that on, I'd be like, oh, that was like putting on the news. Like, oh no. You just ruined the entire day with Hogan's Heroes. You might as well have put on Channel 4 News or something. It would just ruined everything. That was like terrible. But later on, as I would watch a couple episodes of MASH, you know, it was all right, but I guess it was an adult thing. Absolutely, because as a kid, no, wasn't doing it for me at all. And then later I tried to watch a couple episodes of Hogan's Heroes to see if I was really missing anything, and I wasn't. I wasn't missing anything at all. Oh, okay. Well, that reminds me of a cartoon. There was a Voltron, where well, and then there was Thundercats. They transformed into a big machine, but they weren't Transformers. But you know, they were. But you know, sort of like it, like you say, Voltron and Thundercats. Those are the two that I remembered transformed into one big machine. But my submarine. Yeah, Voltron. We're ridiculous. But yeah, cool stuff, man. Well, I'm going to jump off here, folks. I've got some stuff to do today. I've got a couple pieces of trim to finish up on a window and a door, so I can wash my hands of that stuff and get my mind prepared for tomorrow. I got to go back to work tomorrow. Yeah, the Five Lions. Get my mind prepared back. Hey, you know what? On a different subject, cartoons. Whatever happened to the Littles? If they ever made a movie about a cartoon from back then, the Littles would be really cool. I loved that cartoon, man, the Littles. But yeah, appreciate you guys chiming in, man. Everybody have a good day. I want to get over here to doing some other stuff. And stay tuned for some other videos. I'll visit your channel, Fly Right and Snapface. Appreciate you guys chiming in and keeping me company this morning, man. We'll holler at you later. And take care, man. Let me end this stream. End.